We are live. Kane's Corner's back. Exciting day today. I mean, just a awesome day to wake up, go to work, knowing that today's the day that Podcast Jesus is back. He's going to let me close that. Sorry. And they're gonna put on a great show, and that's exactly what we got. Even if it was a bad show today, of course you're gonna take the route of A pluses all around for me. I mean, I thought Mike was. We'll start with Kirk. Obviously, was amazing. Looked good. Looked fresh. I was kind of surprised today that they didn't really ask any questions about maybe stuff that was happening in his personal life. He's broached the subject a little bit. Some of us were curious, but I understand they obviously take the safe route, and that's probably the smart way to go. Probably, if I was there, I probably would ask something. None of my business, but it is interesting. He seemed, hopefully all that's behind him. He came in and it started off, he seemed a little, I can understand sometimes sometimes we all have jobs or things that we don't like to do. And then we have to walk in that door and it's like, fuck, I don't want to be here. And I think we all can understand that feeling. But as the show went on, he really, got comfortable and, he's the greatest broadcaster to ever do it. So it was awesome. I thought Mike was phenomenal. Perfect spot for him. There was a great lineup today. Mutt and I hate to do it, but I got to give you, that AA plus. And I thought Justin was very good, even though Kirk was, started off harsh on him. Kind of thought it was going to be a rough show for Justin. I didn't know where it was going to go, but it turned around. Justin was great, and I don't think there's anybody else, right? That's it. That is the show. Those guys had a great show, and it was awesome. It was awesome just to be back. Good buzz. It's been over a month. It's your routines change. Things are a little different. I mean, I've tried to listen to most of the shows as much as I can, kind of live. But it's not as easy. Everybody has jobs and you can't catch it all. Today, I kind of caught some and then not some. I haven't gone back and necessarily listened to the stuff I may have missed on YouTube, but I will. Of course, I will. I was pleasantly surprised by the setup in his studio. I saw it come out. I was like, wow, those guys they did a good job. I like the studio. I mean, those chairs look great. I will say the desk looked a little pedestrian. I think Menor said it. You got the greatest broadcaster of all time. He's kind of sitting at an IKEA looking desk. I don't know. But the camera angles obviously were kind of the story of the show. Just kind of, I can't say I'm excited it's back. It was a lot of things said on there. Nothing more important than, him saying Kane stock is up. And, that made my day. I made my day because I know some people probably didn't like that. And that made me even happier. Enjoy that. Yes, I enjoy that. And, just going through some of the show stuff. I mean, I have to I remember some stuff, but I got to do the Brando version where I go look at the timestamps. Yes. So yeah, they trapped. So this case season 3. I thought that was pretty interesting today too. It sounds like now I don't want to be the one that first called this but I was the one who kind of first called this. I thought it was odd that Kirk was gonna sign with another company to do this case, whatever it is, the Netflix, the Dateline, whatever he's doing. I'm not sure. But my thing was always he seemed so. One of the main things I thought he really wanted out of what was great about Barstool and why he left EEI was that creative freedom, and it kind of sounded today like those guys are starting to poke and prod at some of his work or however that's manifesting itself. That was funny to hear. So it'd be interesting to see how that kind of goes forward because. It's when you don't have full control of what you're doing. That can be a very frustrating thing. And we know, from his past and things we've seen with him is when people, I mean, I'm sure they're a lot more talented at these places, and the people that are giving him advice or whatever actually have some knowledge or whatever's going on. But I can just see this turning into, I wish I just did. Well, I mean, basically, I wish you just did the case with Barstool, and you probably should have. What's the difference? But it sounded interesting. These back roads, these crazy fucking cases. That the guy in that triangle house, in Michigan, fuck, that's crazy. You're with Cullinane, so you have no protection. Just crazy. So that was interesting. But I'm not surprised that the corporate people are going to try to poke and prod his products, and that chicken fried thing was interesting too. I didn't heard about it until he brought it up, but I mean, it is unbelievable that they're still taking shots at him. I mean, again, I was on the front lines of this too. I always thought she kind of exaggerated the story with that guy. I did think she should have took the money. Horrible move not taking the money. So dumb. I don't even think she still bring the guy up or whatever. So dumb. She should just took the money. But she also just seems like just an asshole. That's and I am one. So trust me, I know what they look like. And to me, she had that appearance of kind of. I just always felt like she played this victim, just getting abused or whatever she said, and she stuck around for a whole year. And it's not, I understand this stuff happens, but in her situation, she didn't have to do it. I just think it was a little over exaggerated. Some of the stories she told were kind of, I mean, the guy sounds like a dick, definitely, but it didn't raise to the, seemed like she just over exaggerated. And, now she's coming back at Kirk. So we're going to see what's going to happen. I'm sure Portnoy will reach out to him and try to settle him down. I'm sure they'll have this discussion. Well, they definitely will have this discussion tomorrow on the Unnamed show. But yeah, that was an interesting part of the show. My favorite, I mean, by far. Obviously, the best part is this Venmo from Mutt. First off, nobody's buying this much shit, are they? I mean, how can you buy that story? I think it's so odd. To me, I don't know if do you really think that somebody wouldn't catch that and post it? That's pretty shocking if he thought that. But that he put the Rob Bradford 5K makes it really odd to me. That is so believable that he would put that just so his wife would think he was. His family member was thinking that he would donate it to there, and that kind of makes sense. And look, I was married. I did fantasy football, baseball, and my wife never knew if I paid or not. It wasn't even something she thought about. So that's not like a great excuse. Like, you could still, your wife and family member or whoever could help you with the draft. And it doesn't mean that they know you've paid for it. I mean, I just don't think I don't think that levels up. And I think, it's one of the all-time things that's probably going to get, it won't be as popular as it should be, because that is wild. That is really funny. Really funny. And whoever broke that, thank you so much. Because that, when that first came out, made my day. It wasn't, I mean, it was a decent topic today, but it wasn't like beat to death. But it was my favorite part, because to me, it's an open and shut case. He obviously was trying to manipulate that and hide that. And that makes it really funny. I mean, at this point, for Christ's sakes, I don't even understand anymore. And I'm a Mutt guy. He's blocked me, and that's fine. Calls me a pedophile. Fine. You started this, Mutt. This is how it all started, was because of you. But I will say, it's time to get a fucking real job, my friend. I mean, I know this has been said a million times. I mean, at this point, just go beg Dave Portnoy. He's going to give it to you. Keeps talking about you. Just go fucking beg. Just take the job. You want to. Obviously. I mean, why wouldn't you? And he's kind of, it's unbelievable to me. I couldn't imagine, I don't know how he makes it. I would be very fascinating. Would be just to see what the arrangement is who pays for what, how it breaks down, you know, just what that actually looks like. Because I can't imagine, like, it's if you know, this was expensive out there, and trying to live in a house with kids, sports, and just kind of, I mean, maybe he makes a lot of money from Mudstack for all I know. You know, who knows? Maybe it's way more than we know. I'm sure those gigs pay okay, but it just doesn't add up. I mean, I know Portnoy said he thinks Mutt has family money, and I don't know. Could be large amounts of debt. You know, I mean, you can carry a fuck ton of debt. But that was whoever did that. Congratulations, great job. I know I heard Menor say like it's kind of slimy, but you know that's the world you live in. If you're gonna make it that ridiculous that you put the, you know, Rob Bradford 5K, I'm sorry. You kind of deserve what you get. Then the Bill Belichick's girlfriend thing is, I have no care about that. The horse thing with Mo was funny too. I have to say, like, it is almost, again, man, call me whatever you want, creepy, whatever. Kind of know what that looks like, right? So he knows way too much about it. I mean, to know that much about horse racing and just like the idea of just like sitting there watching these, it just boggles my mind. I could never imagine gambling on horses. That's just me. And I know Dave Portnoy does, and a lot of people I'm sure do. It just was, just this, the whole process just seems very, very, very unfortunate for the horse. That's all I'm saying. I mean, I know they make a lot of money on these things, and that's great. Some people are really into it, and I guess if the horse can be a champion, I guess it's worth it. I just found it to be a little weird. Anyway, so great show today. Excited, you know. Obviously, Kirk gave me the stock up. I mean, gotta own it. You know, of course, I was excited to get that stock up. It meant a lot. A couple neutrals, and BioDude as a down, I think makes a lot of sense. BioDude has a lot of crazy shit, actually. He cares more about the fans than the show, so I knew that was probably going to come eventually. And it seems like BioDude's in his crosshairs quite a bit. Kind of rubs in the wrong way, I think. But you know, BioDude's no big fan of mine, but yeah, I'm not much of a fan of his either, to be quite honest. But he was good yesterday with Brando. It was a good show, and so. But yeah, listen, he's back. It's exciting. Tomorrow we got the Cinema Lords on. Then Mike Montante Friday. I guess they're gonna do calls, so that's good. You know, hopefully get some great callers. That's what we're hoping for. What else we got today? Oh, get back to so Menors has claimed. Now, I'm not saying he's lying. I'm just saying it takes a lot of fucking holidays to the United States of America. And I don't know enough about like where he's lived and stuff to know. But he's been to 20 Red Sox games. I find that hard to believe. I just do. Even with his rationale that when he comes here, he goes to a bunch of games in a row. I would love to know when and where he went, like what cities he went to watch these games. Were they all in Boston? Seems like travels a lot. This guy. I mean, that's a far. I mean, maybe he's not. Maybe at the time when he came to Boston, he didn't come out of Australia. I think he lived in Europe. I'm not exactly sure where else he lived. But if you're coming from Australia to Boston for vacation and to go to 20 games, I mean that's a decent amount of vacation to America. I call bullshit on it, but you know, I don't think he's been to 20 games. But look, maybe he'll prove me wrong. Maybe he can name the cities. Maybe he went on the West Coast to a few games, Boston a few games, and maybe somewhere else. Maybe in Canada or something. I don't know, but I did hear him say that and was wondering how many games could you possibly go to on vacation? I guess if your whole vacation is rooted around going to Red Sox games, you could do it. But, I don't know. I don't know. I don't want to call bullshit because maybe we'll talk about it sometime, but I guess we can address the other situation. Yeah, everybody knows. It was a tough thing for me, stupid thing. I let myself get caught up in something that I shouldn't be caught up in. If you're on the internet or you're in a place where all it is negative and you put yourself into it. And for the most part, I thought most of the time in these chats or anywhere that you're going back and forth with people, most of the time it's pretty, it's some crazy shit that's said, I would say. But in the confines of the chat, there's worse and there's a lot worse, So like it's not a lot of it isn't that bad, to be quite honest. I would say I took more shit probably than most people, but I know that's my personality that's going to happen. So I don't take it necessarily like personal. I will say though, when that picture came up, it kind of just hit me like in a way that I really should have stopped and thought. Just really thought about it and just said, fuck this, just got out and really just left it alone, to be quite honest. That would have probably been the best route. Unfortunately, like that didn't happen, and it is what it is. It's not really, I don't know what the regret would be for me necessarily. I mean, obviously, I taking a shot at somebody's kid is not good. So that'll be the only regret. I mean, Drew Band is I don't have no problem saying he's just an awful guy. I mean, this is the bottom line. He's not a good guy. I mean, so I don't feel bad for him. If we go through the list of characters, I mean, they're just soft as fucking baby shit. And that's really what it comes down to. To hold a comment that happened months ago and then go passionately saying that's the reason you did it. I mean, it was a fucking throwaway comment. If you don't get over that within a couple hours, you got issues. To hold that for months and then use that as your basis to do it. I don't know. I don't know what else you call that other than you're just kind of weak-minded. Unfortunately, it is what it is. It's how I shouldn't have handled that way, I guess. I don't know. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm not that even upset really how it was handled because at least it's exposed out there. It's stock up, stock down on Minifans. I mean, if you're gonna say or fans of the show or whatever I don't know, the trolls also. I mean, stock down. BA definitely stock down. A sensitive guy, a guy that doesn't like when things are said about him like that. But supports people that do. So stock down on him. Jackson from Australia, stock down. Stock down. Another guy who gets sensitive when you say stuff and then lobbies out shots and jumps on. But in the end, he's a pretty sensitive guy. I like Jackson, but I don't know. Your performance, I mean, you must be jonesing right now without Jake. Did he go on last night? I don't even know. But you were on the internet every night. It's tough to watch. I don't know why you keep going on every single night with these guys, but I gotta give you a stock down. Not good. Obviously Pat Williams stock down. Very sensitive. But that's okay. We're done with that. Stock up. Manners stock up. Manners against all odds had to defend me. How awful is that? That's rough. I did myself no favors, none. So I can only imagine how hard that was. And then he did this thing again. I'm trying to play the game with you guys, and we'll do it. But he goes on. Was it? I don't know if I can't remember. I'm not good at this. I'm sorry, but was it Menner's Live? It was one of his shows. He does this like quiet voice, and he's like, Kane, had a rough week, and it was like somebody died. What are you doing, Manners? Nobody died, Manners. Don't worry about it, buddy. It's a couple bad days. We break out, we come back on Kane's Corner, and we talk some more. Just about the Kirk Minihane show is back. So that's all we need to worry about, Manners. It's not nobody died. There's a lot of context missing. I know you know that. But you don't got to worry. There's other things that are much more important. Stock up on Brando. Brando dipped his feet in to give me a little protection, which was shocking. Another guy. Interesting. Not much. I mean, and also last night, he kind of, I don't say threw me under the bus, but look, I'll own it. We deleted some comments. Obviously, you guys know. I think me and him had a back and forth. We kind of talked about it. We made a decision. I'll go with we. We made a decision. And then we kind of made another decision that, it's you're not going to block these crazy people. They're just going to keep coming back and coming back. And the more you kind of push into it and fight against it, the more they're going to keep pushing. So I think you got to, it's going to happen. It's okay, Brando. Don't worry about it, buddy. You're doing great. You're doing great out there. Your show's good. You got me on your side, so you're good. You're part of the network. The other guys are all running. But you're here, and you're doing a great job. So stock up on you. Stock down, Pat Ford. Oh, man, what has happened to this guy? What has happened to Pat Ford? Booked on the show. Guy does nothing with anything. Just comes in for a quick, hopefully he shows up. I mean, Pat's the kind of guy that does a nice video for Laconia and then doesn't come to the show. I don't know. It's the best part. What the fuck happened? I don't know. Maybe it was a personal thing, so it's all right. But stock down. He's like a troll now. He's in there. He's a troll guy. Just trying to cancel me. That's all he cares about. Stock down on Pat. Let's see who else we got. Stock up. I don't know. Stock up. Don the jeweler. I haven't seen you in a while, so I'm gonna give you a stock up too. I don't know where you are, but glad you're gone. I got another one. I'm sorry. There's one big one. Stock down on Tommy Quinlan. He's a downer. He came on. He did a nice thing. He, played along. He's obviously a fan. He's a big troll guy, which is understandable. He asked the same questions 45 times, got the same fucking answers over and over again. But he was a good sport. And then he unblocked me, which was nice. Then I look and he just blocked me again. And guy's kind of soft, kind of weak. We'll get to the network shows in a minute, but if we're gonna start with one show, we'll start early and often right now. Hot or not, I've given it 4 tries. 4 times I've tried to watch this show. I'm going to say this, that I understand that it's for some people, they're going to love this show. I get it. But for me, it makes me physically ill. I wish it didn't. I really wish it didn't make me physically ill, but it just does. I watch it and I just get sick, and I had to turn it off. And, there's a lot of lies told in the world. One of the biggest lies ever told is that before Tommy came out, that he slept with 30 women. Now, 30 men I can believe. And I hope you got tested, Tommy. I hope you're doing your vaccines and you're keeping up to date, because it's a crazy world out there. But it seemed a little high. I don't know. I'm not buying it. Not sure why. I get the sense that he's just making shit up. And honestly, he's just a stock down guy. I mean, he unblocked and blocked. And he's, you said you weren't going to do it. I don't know. I have to give you the stock down. And hot or not is just not watchable for me. I like John, but I tried. I gave it the old whatever the saying is. I don't know what it is, but what is it? What is it? There you go. The old college try. There you go. All right. So they're also Billboard Chart Guys show. I don't know if you guys have been watching that show. I really like that show. It's something about him in general, just his voice, very calming. This is a tailor-made show for Kirk. Obviously, he's definitely going to go on. It sounds like right up his alley. I've actually listened to every one. I didn't listen to the one I saw today. Was with, yeah, it was with. But I've listened to all the other ones. They're very good. I've enjoyed every one of them. So great job on that show. Unrelated show has been very good too. Not a fan necessarily of those guys too much. I think they, they go hot and cold with me personally. But the show has been very good. It's turned around. They've turned this into like a really good show. I'll give them credit. I mean, well, let's be serious. One guy is doing a great job on the show. The other guy is just along for the ride, like he was on every other show he ever goes on. He's always along for the ride. I would like to know like what the breakdown of what each person puts into that show. Tim Smith's a very sensitive guy. I like Tim. I don't think he has trouble. Probably, I think he doesn't. I can understand why he probably doesn't get along with me that well. That's fine. I mean, I have no real issues with him. I think he just kind of gets caught in the whirlwind of things, and has he's got some sensitivities, but they're definitely not unfounded. But then he says some stuff, and I'm like, well, you can't be sensitive about that, and then I'm not going to bring it all onto the table. But the bottom line is, it's a good show, and Tim is doing a great job with the show. I have to give it to him. I mean, it's a funny show. It's fun to listen to. It's fun. It's the guys that they have on seem all to have a good time on the show. So great job, Tim. And Jackson, you're there. You're there. I know he does that. I'm just playing, Jackson. I know you add a good amount to the show. It's a good show. So great job on that. The Brando show. Interesting. It's an interesting one. My guy. We talk a good amount. And he is a very competitive guy, which I like. He goes for it. He wants to be the best show. He cares about the show, the Kirk Minihane show, a lot. I think he's well liked. I think people really, take to Brando. Recently, he's definitely taken some heat, and that's probably mostly my fault. But it's part of just how it happens. You start to get a little bit of notoriety or whatever that is, and people just start busting your balls. That's just part of the deal. I think he's probably having some thoughts about making some adjustments, and I know managers said he probably needs to kind of change the format. I'm sure he might think he needs to change some stuff, but my advice to Brando will be the same to anybody that's doing a good job right now, just to be yourself, whatever that looks like. If you want to make changes to your show, you want to do something different, you're not satisfied with what you're doing, that's all fine, but don't lose what you are to do something that somebody else wants you to do. You want to be able to make, to be able to do your show and feel like, you're yourself. If you start trying to change who you are, it's just unauthentic. So I think he's done a good job. I told him when the mic stream happened, to me, it was a great stream. It was a great job. I mean, he backed into it. But at the end of the day, man, we got a unbelievable mic performance. A guy that I never seen. Again, he's so passionate about that stream. So you did your job. So Brando's show on the rise here, on the rise. Hopefully he'll get in studio again, because his first appearance was very good. So obviously Menner's M&S is done. Great job, very successful. Enjoyed them all. It was Menner's is, I think I've actually thought about this, like if you took all the people from the show, anybody you want, like anybody that's like Mike, Clemmer, Mutt, the producers, Kirk, and then anybody else is kind of like Menners is like a part of. I know he's not in on the show, but he's been around for a long time. So if you take any of those names and you said to yourself, like, whose content or who would you want to see, like in order? Obviously Kirk will be one, and for me personally, and I like Mike a lot in the show, but like as far as just like straight content that I enjoy watching. Menners is probably second to me, so like that's how much I really enjoy his content. And I thought they did a great job with the show. I mean, it was, I enjoyed the guests, and I thought having those producers in there and, did a great job with the clips, and it was just a good show. I mean, other than the one that he didn't like, which was pretty funny though. It was still a funny show, but he did a great job. And then the question is, where are we with Mike and the Minifans? I guess where do we go from here? Who's going to run it? I mean, Timmy Fax is done with stock down on Timmy Fax. We'll go neutral on Fax. Fax has been all right, but he's back around. I would think, right? Isn't the internship over? I think Fax could come back and maybe jump on and start running the show again. I don't see why not. His internship is over. I don't know if he'd want to do it, but I guess Mick's not going to come back, so he's not going to do it. There's really that. I guess maybe there's a show just going to fade out and be gone. I don't know. Will Menner's Live just be the new Mike and the Minifans? It's possible. Anyway, I wanted to bring this up too. Let me see here. This is old, but no, that's not it. Oh, okay, I got to pull myself kind of out, I think. Let me see. I want to pull myself out, but I can't talk. Anyway, it's a Jeff D. Lowe cake. I can't really get. Let me see if I already open it up more. No. Let me 1 second. Anyway, we all saw the cake. Now I read the tweet today. And Jeff D. Lowe did say he does a good amount of baking. Great. Not denying that. Now, I'm not even saying I'm right or wrong here. But I will say that for a first time making a cake, if you say, hey, it's the first time I ever made it, it looks really good. I mean, pretty damn good for your first time. I mean, my question is, though, why not post like a lot of the pictures? I'm just going to say I've seen today in general, I've seen probably 15 different pictures that look exactly like this on a white plate like this. That's all I'm going to say. Exactly. Not exactly, but pretty damn close. I was just hoping that we'd get the whole cake, the whole thing. Not just this like manufactured slice. I'm not saying it's not, rocket science to make a cake. Definitely not. But sometimes on your first one, when you have to make it, you got to cool it, you got to cut it open, and you got to frost the inside, and all the whole post happened in one day. So it's not like the cake sat overnight or something. It was easier to cut or whatever the case. It seemed like it happened all in one shot. I'd call him a liar, but I would love just to have seen the whole cake because I'm very interested in that. I mean, it's a pretty damn good job, Jeff. I can't get the whole picture here, but I've been wanting to. Should have asked him to send the whole picture, but kind of an odd thing just to take a slice like that and take a picture. It's something to keep in the back of your mind. I just find it to be a little sus, just a little. All right, we'll play it now. I don't know. It was. It looks really pretty good. Pretty good job, Jeff. That's your first cake. I mean, great job, buddy. All right, what else we got here? That's pretty much it. I think we've covered it. Go also too. Another show that's good on the network. Doesn't get enough play. Is a wild fucking show. Is that Cat and Pat show? Now, I've asked Pat a few times. He used to kind of communicate a little bit. I've sent him a few texts lately. He hasn't got back. I'm not sure. You mentioned a great restaurant in Nashua. It's a very cheap Italian. That's high end. And I was trying to get that name, but he never reached back out. But this show is fucking crazy. I mean, this guy, it's on the show, so we can talk about it. Literally calls his daughter like basically a slime ball. Calls her slimy. The girl's 16 years old and she's in rehab. And this guy openly airs her fucking stuff just out there. And I find it disturbing, to be quite honest. I mean, I love every second of this show. These two people that have never there's only two people they care about is themselves. I would say those two themselves come first. That's the sense I get. That's the feeling I get when I listen to that show. But to air your daughter's personal situation out like that, it's fucking wild. I mean, she's 16, 17. I mean, it is a crazy show. That shit these guys talk about. It gets overlooked because nobody really watches it from the network. But and the craziest part of it all, like it's to me is nuts, is he really kind of blames most of it on his ex-wife, which is, hey, listen, I'm sure she's doing the same exact thing. And some of the things he talks about in there, she really seems like a fucking wackadoo. But I would just say, like, just looking at it from the outside, if you want to do a show so bad that you air your daughter's personal stuff out like that, I think you have to at least look inward at yourself a little bit and say, maybe this has happened and I have some fault in this. Because here I am on a show just airing her out to the whole fucking world. I mean, it is crazy. I am shocked that he does this. Shocked. I mean, I couldn't imagine like airing out my daughter's personal information like that. And it's a very sensitive subject. And and to be fair to him, I mean, he's just saying she really needs the help, and it's admirable to go get that help. I mean, I think it's very brave of her, like, to do it and go out there and try to get better. And I just find it, very self-centered to then take that information and use it for fucking views, I don't know. It's a crazy show. I would definitely give it a listen. Definitely give it a listen. And that's pretty much it. Well, one more stock down. We're going to give it to Cullinane. Stock down, Cullinane. I don't have a really good reason other than, you're just kind of a fucking gatekeeping asshole. I would just say that. But you know what, Dave? Yeah, I give you a lot of respect. You've done great work on the Kirk Minihane show. I give you a lot of respect. But yeah. And I don't know. I don't know about Dave. Still trying to figure this guy out. But all right, I'm going to let you go. Have a good night. I wish you all the best. Till next time.